All right, good morning, everyone. Today is September 11th. This is Earth Science. I'm Mr. Sheridan. I hope you're all having a great day. Our last day before a normal weekend. So next week we start getting back into our normal 5 days and then a 2-day weekend. So we're kind of getting back into the swing of things. I'm going to jump right in and share my screen because I want to run through what I'm going to ask you to do today. Again, when you first go to our classroom, you're going to find our Zoom link right on the right in our stream. And then if we can go to classwork, week number 4. So we've done 3 different lessons in CK12, and then we've done our vocabulary sheet. So for those of you who didn't get this yesterday, one of the things I asked you to do was to go make sure that you are turning in those 3 assignments in CK12. So yesterday you had 3 things that you were supposed to do. You're supposed to go in and do the lesson on the outer layers of the sun. You were supposed to do, and then go back and make sure that you got all 3 of those assignments, that you actually turned them in CK12. There's a banner across the top that you have to actually click turn in, and that lets me see who actually completed the quiz. So make sure that you do those 2 things. And then what you need to do is go into this assignment, and each one of you has a new copy of this. You need to put your name at the top, and then you need to go back into these CK12 assignments and highlight every single word that is in bold and add it to your vocabulary list. So when you get into these assignments, there should be a total, you should have 10 right now that are on your vocabulary list. So when we go into these assignments, they load just like this. So this is our first one. This was the sun. So you'll see that the first vocabulary word that we have is star, which is a sphere of plasma held together by gravity. I already did that one for you. So this is your vocab sheet. You've got number 1. It's done. Boom, cross it off the list. But now what I want you to do is go in and define all of these words in bold. So you need to do solar system. And then if we go to the next assignment, if I can get this out of the way and move my Zoom thing so I can click this, our next lesson, then you're going to go through here and you're going to see this plasma is actually in bold. It's also green because there's a link that tells you more about plasma, but you need to define plasma. And then you're going to define core, radiative zone, photons, and so on. So you need to go through all 3 of those lessons and define all of those words. I want to show you an example of someone who did a really, really great job. And that person is Trent, who was great. And if I can find his vocabulary sheet, I want to show everybody Trent's because he did a really great job. Some of you struggled a little bit because for the layers of the sun, the way that you define them was like, okay, well, this layer is in between this layer and this layer. But what I really want you to do is tell me the characteristics of that layer of the sun. Trent does a really good job of that, talking about, so for instance, the photosphere is the visible surface of the sun available to be seen from Earth. That tells me what the photosphere is, so that when I'm studying for a test or a quiz, I actually know what it is. So he defines these things. So when you go to these things, I want you to write more than just the core is the sun's innermost layer. I want you to write some of these things down about the core in your vocabulary sheet, okay? The radiative zone, don't just put that it's the next layer out from the core. I want you to tell me that its temperature is 4 million degrees and that the energy from the core travels through the radiative zone or that it travels extremely slow. Tell me some characteristics of the radiative zone so you can tell me what exactly happens in that zone of the sun, and do that for all of the layers, both the inner and the outer layers of the sun. So that's the first thing that I want you to do today, is go back and review your vocabulary. Make sure that you're actually defining the zones of the sun. You will need to know what they are, and you'll need to know what they do in each one of those zones and each one of those layers of the sun. So make sure that you can do that. The next thing that I want you to do is when we go back to let's just go back to our classwork section. I've assigned this for today. It's called a KWL chart. And the purpose of this is for you, I want you to write at least 3 bullets in each one of these text boxes, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go into this and everybody's going to have access to it and you can edit this. You're going to add a slide. You're going to put your name somewhere on here so you can click in here. You can put your name like this. And then you can add the bullets in each one of these text boxes. I want you to tell me what you already knew about the sun, what you've learned in this lesson or over the last 3 days when we've been doing these readings and videos, and then what you still wonder about the sun. So they shouldn't take very long. You don't have to think about this a ton, but I want you to go in and create a slide and fill out this KWL chart about what we've been talking about on the sun. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Have a great day.